And, you know, this is a big response from Arsenal after last week's loss against Manchester United. I thought they handled it really professionally, and I wasn't too worried. I know Ellen Road can be a bit of a banana skin, but, you know, you feel confident with Arsenal against sort of lesser teams. And it felt like a game that we controlled naturally. We weren't spectacular. We didn't need to be spectacular. And it was a classic case of Arsenal when we play against teams now, you know, particularly any team, you know, lower down in the table, they just defend really deeply from the beginning. I know Leeds has a chance, but we face teams that just sit back with a low block, and that's completely fair. And that's why set pieces are so important for us, because it's hard to break down low blocks. It just is. We're not prime Barcelona. Any team really struggles to do that. And that's why set pieces are such a big part of Arsenal's game. That kind of physicality in the box, corners, putting crosses in. It's, you know, it's a proven way to beat low blocks. You know, is that we just spoke about Brentford against Villa. You know, you guys had a low block that whole second half, and Villa couldn't get past it. And Villa are no slouch on the attacking side. So, you know, this to me confirms why set pieces are so important to Arsenal, given the nature of our opposition. And you know, it's especially important if we get that early goal in games, and we got that first half goal. So Leeds naturally have to attack a little bit. They didn't really provide too much threat, but you know, 27 minutes in, Zubimendi, you know, heads in from a brilliant Madueke cross. And it just gets me thinking, you know, Madueke, he's not there to be really take Saka's place at the right wing position. Even when he's had decent games, Saka's come back into the team. With Saka, you know, getting that injury in the warm-up, Madueke came in and he was, you know, directly involved in those first two goals with a corner and that sort of in-swinging cross, which he did many times throughout the game. And it's exactly why we signed him. We signed him for credible cover for Saka. Last season, that would have been Nwaneri in that right wing position, or maybe Martinelli. Neither of those are going to give what Madueke gave in this game. And, you know, Saka's irreplaceable long-term. We know that. We just gave him a huge contract. But to have a player who is, you know, not so much worse, let's put it that way, than Saka, and actually gives a different intensity than Saka is really important. And, you know, this just showed that that money actually is very well spent on a young, homegrown winger who, you know, struggled at left wing, but right wing really, I think for the most part, Arsenal fans would say this has been a good signing this season. So, you know, I really like that from Madueke. And I also really want to give credit to Arteta because he reshaped the midfield a little bit. He had Rice and Zubimendi a little bit deeper this game, I would say, as more of a double pivot. And then you had Havertz push sort of up with Gyökeres. So Arsenal sort of in possession, they're a bit like a 4-4-2 at times, and replace Havertz, who came in, you know, for this game with Odegaard, who was on the bench. Odegaard drops much deeper and, you know, is not really, other than on the pressing side, doesn't join our strikers. Yeah, really, really big win for Arsenal. I don't think we're feeling the pressure at all for Arsenal. It's not the time to feel pressure anyway, not with, you know, you only really feel that with sort of 8 games to go when you reach the 30 game mark.